Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. Hello, all of you. This video I think is going to be a little longer. Firstly, I'd like to say a massive thank you to every single one of you. Thank you so much for all your comments of support and WhatsApps, emails. Yes, I have been into the emails. I've started slowly working my way through. I would also like to thank one of the YouTubers that I mentioned in my previous video, which is no longer available because that, and I won't name them, but one of the two YouTubers I named emailed me to apologise, to say they really genuinely believed that Graham was making it up about having cancer. I think because that YouTuber doesn't subscribe to us, doesn't watch us, just believed the crap that a certain person had been saying, but they sent me a really, really lovely email and said they don't want to be involved in this anymore, count them out. And so as a courtesy to that YouTuber, I privatised the video, and I appreciate them saying that, and I hope that anyone else who may be duped by Absolutely Average, the channel, Russell, who runs that, I hope that they think long and hard. I'd also like to thank another YouTuber who's done a couple of videos really, really delving into it, that I don't want to name the channel because I think they're going to get attacked. Well, I know they're going to get attacked, so I've emailed them, given them my private number and said if they need any help. I know it's someone who has also been affected by cancer. So thank you very, very much. You know who you are, and if you want me to do a shout out, I will, but at this stage I don't want to, because I can see that you've looked into the channel Absolutely Average and the Twitter account. You can see what we can see, what Sussex Police can see, what everybody can see, and I know you've been through a lot in life, and I don't want you being attacked. I don't want any of you to be attacked. And I wouldn't want anybody to go out there attacking anybody else. Believe me, there are two police forces, Sussex Police and another police force, which I'm not going to name, because there's a reason for that, because this is sort of wandering into the realms of real life stalking outside of the internet. But Russell Green did admit on his live this past Friday that he is in contact with Atalanta of Arcadia offline. Those were his words, offline. So presumably by telephone or in person. That's what he's implying. I know that account is him. It's not a woman, it's him. Right, and this video I'm going to really start off talking to Harry, because I do believe Prince Harry watches all of the YouTube channels. And the reason is Prince Harry chose to include and endorse a person called Christopher Boozy, who is thick in with the Sugars and Sarah Data. He chose to include that man in his Netflix docuseries, and I will repeat, of which he and his wife Meghan Markle had full editorial control. That is a fact that will never change. It's a stain on history. For the life of me, I don't know why he incriminated himself by including someone and endorsing and supporting someone such as Christopher Boozy, but nevertheless, he did. Sarah Data ran a funding campaign. I saw it. I'm pretty sure I've got screenshots of it. Campaigning and fundraising to pay Byline Times to smear and defame Dan Wootton. That was an orchestrated takedown campaign. Historically, there have been at least two other troll accounts dedicated to attacking a variety of YouTubers, myself being one, Trevor being another, Wally being another, Sue Smith, Duchess of North Sussex, Paula M, Lady C, Andy Signor, Popcorn Planet, Jesus Enrique Rosses. I mean, the list goes on. And when I look at that list of YouTubers that were attacked by Here Piggy Pig Pig Piglet, Caris Cartier and Atalanta of Arcadia, all of us YouTubers have one thing in common. We all have very different content, very different styles, but we all have one thing in common. We all critique Harry's wife. Is that a coincidence? I think not. Now, to date, the Atalanta, which is the last of the 3 active troll accounts, has tweeted 19,300 tweets and is currently and actively tweeting away right now. And they just continue and continue and continue. Now, think about it for a minute. 19,300 tweets in 18 months. It can be only one of 2 things. Either they're insane or they're being paid. It can only be one of those 2 things. 19,300 tweets. Didn't Harry also, at one point, write to Jason North and say, we're going to be involved with helping Omid Scobie and finding freedom, but we have to be able to deny it later, which is a massive lie, isn't it? A massive lie. For me, that's a breach of trust. Where does it stop? And I've watched generally Sarah Data and other Sussex Squad members, and what they tend to do is they make claims that people like me and other YouTubers and you guys in the comments, that we issue death threats towards Meghan Markle. Ding ding, that's a complete lie. I've never seen the likes or heard the likes of it. They claim that we are all making racist slurs. Ding ding too, that is a massive lie. I have never seen or heard the likes of it, not on any of the YouTubers that are currently being attacked by Atalanta of Arcadia and were historically attacked by Caris Cartier and Piglet. Remember Piglet? Piglet did the kidnapper voice, "Hey Yankee Wally, get my name out of your toothless mouth." Remember that? I actually downloaded that video from Twitter and I uploaded it on this channel. Somebody claiming to be called John Smith put a copyright strike in. Do you remember that? Was it last year? I think it was the year before. And I appealed against that copyright strike and I won. Initially I lost and YouTube said, no, that's someone else's material off Twitter. But then months later, out of the blue, last April, I got an email from YouTube. I just thought, give up, don't care. And they said, we have reviewed your reasons for putting that, "Hey Yankee Wally, get my name out of your toothless mouth," the kidnapper style threatening video. I'll put a link in the description, then you can all go and listen to it again for yourselves. These are the people, and Harry Windsor, if you're watching, bear in mind, you chose to include Christopher Boozy on your Netflix series, of which you and your wife had the final say, the final cut of what would go to air. You are the man who emailed Jason North and said, we have to be able to deny any involvement in finding freedom. A complete lie. You are a person who hugs and kisses and has selfies taken with people who are prime SS Sussex Squad sugars that have behaved in this way. You need to be more careful, to say the least, who you associate with. I'd love you to comb through this channel and find out where I have made a death threat against Meghan Markle or a racist slur. Where? It's not good enough to just make those allegations, and the reason the Sussex Squad do it is to over-exaggerate, to gain sympathy from bystanders and passers-by. rather than saying, well, these people critique Meghan Markle, they comment, why are her trousers 4 inches too long for her? Which is a fact, they are. There's photographs there, you know, or why do her clothes not fit her? I don't hear any of you commenting on her physical attributes. I don't see anything in the comments along the lines of the disgustingness that I see from Sarah Data against Dan Wootton and others. They are all against people who dare to critique Meghan Markle. Nothing less than worship and adoration, it would appear, is acceptable. So, 19,300 tweets, you tell me, is that a lunatic or is that someone who's being paid? I see also all this social media stuff about the Princess of Wales, which is despicable. It's vile. It's nasty. She has been really transparent. She didn't have to tell anybody anything at all. It's a personal medical issue. She's not pregnant. It's not to do with a pregnancy and a baby who will be included in the line of succession. Where was the transparency with Meghan Markle's pregnancy, where a baby, the subsequent baby, was included in the line of succession of the British royal family? Oh, there was no transparency, was there? Doctors' names missing. But how dare anybody question someone who's been included in the line of succession, as opposed to the Princess of Wales, who has had 3 children, in transparency, who are in the line of succession, and is now having personal medical problems. What's it got to do with anybody? She didn't have to tell anybody anything. Interesting comparison, isn't it? When you look back, no one was allowed to comment about Meghan's pregnancy. No one was allowed to ask about any weird anomalies. Personally, it's never been my bag. It's never been my cup of tea, as you all know. But when a bump is swish, 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 people want to know why. When a bump slips down the left leg and hits the knee, people want to know why. Me personally, my theory is she was wearing some kind of Kevlar vest, and I understand that. She's got an unborn child, a fetus. She's going out in public, shaking hands with members of the crowd. That's my theory. It was some kind of bulletproof, stab-proof kind of vest, and it just slipped. For the life of me, I don't know why they couldn't have had decent straps, but at Birkenhead, something clearly slipped down the left leg, and it looked like the bump had slipped. But if you're wearing extra armour, it will make the bump look way bigger. And then when that armour, if it was indeed armour, when that slips, bump's going to look like it's either not there or... And believe me, my first pregnancy, no one could tell until I was about 7.5 months gone, because I was so skinny and I wore baggy clothes. Nobody knew. No one knew. So, I mean, I don't know. And I know a lot of you have theories about that. But people were demonetised. People like Wally were demonised. They were thrown off the internet, banished, because they dared to ask a question. And yet the Princess of Wales, where it's nothing to do with the line of succession, oh boy, they want to know everything. You know, is she in a coma and all these other weird theories. They clearly said she'll be back at Easter. Not at Easter yet. I don't see the rush. Harry, would your mother associate with someone like Christopher Boozy? Really? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd also like to add, and make what you will of this, I have an old Facebook account which I haven't logged into or had anything to do with since 2018, I think. I just dumped it because I discovered it's a playground for stalkers. Well, somebody has hacked my Facebook account. They hacked it a couple of months ago, and they've been putting porn and sexual stuff and selling goods. Now, the point I'd like to make is that whoever is behind that is not Atalanta of Arcadia. This is a different type of attack. And I believe it is connected to Prince Harry. I do. I think it's extraordinary. Last night, one of my colleagues phoned me up and said, there's some serious porn on the Dolphin Safari Facebook page. And I said, well, I can't get it. I haven't had access to my Facebook for ages. She showed me this. It was shocking porn. And I said, I bet that's my old Facebook account that's been hacked. I bet that's who's behind it. So she managed to get into the admin. Sure enough, checked it. Fiona Hesketh's Facebook account posted that. Now that's highly sophisticated to hack somebody's Facebook account. Why? Why would anybody bother hacking mine? I haven't used it since 2018. So as I say, make what you will of that. But that's a different attack of a different nature, more sophisticated, from a different quarter to Atalanta of Arcadia. Yeah, 19,300 tweets. Lunatic or paid? You tell me. You tell me, Harry Windsor. Harry Windsor, who said we have to be able to deny it. Harry Windsor, who included a massive active troll on his Netflix docuseries. I cannot make enough of that. If ever this comes to a lawsuit and a court case, I'll bring all of that up. All of it. The whole thing. And in civil cases, as we all know, it is on the balance of probabilities as opposed to a criminal case, which is beyond reasonable doubt. So criminal standard is very high. Civil, as we all know, from the misremembering about we have to be able to deny this at a later date, that we had any involvement in finding freedom. I think you all get the point. I will be back more often. The garden is just in disarray at the moment, waiting for the clips to put the rest of the stuff down. And apparently the guys who sent me the jacuzzi, the first one got lost, so they thought they'd be really sweet and send me an even more expensive one at their own expense, which is actually way bigger. So I think it's going to take up the entire garden, but bless them. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. I thought I'd call out the 10-foot gorilla in the corner of the room because apparently journalists don't want to call it out. Legacy media don't want to call it out. I know a few articles have been about why doesn't Harry and Meghan come forward and at the very least denounce these trolls. Well, that's up for public conjecture, isn't it? That's what's called free speech, I suppose. I'm sorry, did I include any death threats or racial slurs in this video? No, I don't think I did. However, the Atalanta of Arcadia continues with defamatory statements. Let me save them the bother. I'm a drug dealer, I'm a drug addict, I'm a thief, I'm a criminal, I run immigrants across the Strait of Gibraltar, I've owned many houses, I've ripped everybody off, my arresting officer apparently now is in prison. Bullshit, sorry Steve. He lives in South Africa, oh my god. But according to the troll, he's now in prison. He was in on the scam with me, my arresting officer. The whole of Sussex police are corrupt. Oh, I could go on and on and on and on and on. This troll is, oh, go watch Absolutely Average, Russell Green say, everything Atalanta says is the truth. Atalanta is my friend. I admire her. Emphasis on the she and the her. Really. As always, I look forward to hearing your theories, thoughts and opinions. And once again, a massive thank you to all of you. And also a thank you to that YouTuber who had the balls, quite frankly, to email me and say, I'm sorry, I got it wrong and I'm not going to be involved anymore. Thank you very much for listening.